really beat me? Yeah, but did you say anything? I went, yeah, but no one knows what he did.
All right, we'll continue with our post-race press conferences today for the PowerShares QQQ 300. We are joined by our race-winning crew chief and team owner for the number 88 TaxSlayer.com Chevrolet. First, we'll start off with David Elenz. David, can you talk a little bit about being on the box there for Chase's win at Daytona?
It was obviously a really exciting win. You know, we had a little bit of misfortune at the start of the race that we had to work through, and we're actually, I think, like 30th with, half the race left, and we're able to. Chase did a phenomenal job just working his way up through there, reading the pack right, staying on the bottom line, getting back up there, but had a couple lucky pit calls to get us in the front at the end, and just enough fuel to make it to the end.
We are also joined by our race-winning car owner, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale, you guys had a pretty good day today, also bringing in Elliott Sadler as the top XFINITY Series points contender. Talk a little bit about the team performance today.
Yeah, all the cars really did a great job today. Obviously, happy for Rick and Kelly, who are also part of the ownership on the cars, and TaxSlayer too. I didn't do a good job representing them in the Unlimited, so Chase sure saved my butt this week. We really enjoy having the opportunity to run this series, and the fact that we bring 4 cars here, really I think is a good example, or shows how much we appreciate being a part of the series, and how much we are excited about our upcoming season. Dave did a great job putting this car together all off season, and you saw the speed in all the cars. So the guys really worked hard in the shop and worked together to be able to come down here and have good speed across the board. And all the drivers drove real smart. Chase obviously did what he had to do there at the end of the race. I thought that was very gutsy to be able to really put such an aggressive block on the 22. And he did what he had to do. It really, could have turned him in the wall, and Joey might have saved both of them from doing all that. But he did what he had to do to keep the guy behind him, and it won him the race. So I'm proud of Chase. Such a cool thing to be part of his career. He's going to do some amazing stuff in his career, and it's awesome to be a little part of it.
All right, we'll open up for questions now for David and Dale. We'll start over here with Tom, Jared, and then Bob.
Hi, Dale. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Congratulations. You've obviously been in that chair a lot, driving and being a car owner here. What's the level of satisfaction? What does it feel like winning as a car owner compared to winning as a driver?
Winning as a driver is a lot different than winning as an owner. But I'll tell you this: it's harder. There's a lot more work goes into being an owner, and there's a lot more people involved. You get a better scope of the whole company really working together and understanding how that happens. Before I owned a team, I really took for granted how that happened and who was involved and who influenced the performance of the car, and from the sponsors, the people that don't come to the track that work on the car at the shop. I mean, every bit of that I really began to appreciate quite a bit more as an owner, to see how hard it is to compete and win. Just to get to the track is a real challenge, and this sport is so cutthroat and so challenging, and these guys work real hard to stay competitive. So you get a real appreciation, satisfaction. When you win as a driver, it's just pure excitement and elation, but as an owner, there's a ton of satisfaction. There's a lot of pride goes into that.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Jared and then Bob and David.
FoxSports.com, Jared Turner-Dale. I want to ask you about Elliott. Obviously, he's got a ton of experience. He's a past winner, but he's also a close friend of yours. What does it mean to have a guy on your team who is also such a close friend?
I had to think we got 2 Elliots today, but I was happy for him because I thought he ran a smart race. He ran a race that put himself into position to win today. He's had a bit of a hard luck go over the last several years since he left RCR. He was kind of doing well with them, but the last couple of years have been a little challenging for him. So I'm hoping that we give him a great foundation and a lot of support to be able to be competitive this year, get back to victory lane. We got a great crew chief working with him as well. Our crew chief lineup is very strong, and that's going to carry our team, our whole company this year. We got, you always think about trying to get the best driver you can in the seat. But boy, have I learned over the last 5 years how important that crew chief is. And we've got, I think, the best guys in the garage on all 3 cars. We brought 4 cars today, and Ryan filled in, and he does a great job with that. But our 3 crew chiefs work. They know each other well. They know what they got to do, and they know they do it really well together. And so I'm excited about the teamwork between the 3 teams and what they can all do. So that's going to really help Elliott, that he's got that support system around him. And I expect the teams to have a unique season because of the crew chiefs and the lineup that we have there.
We'll go to Bob next, and then David.
Bob Hockris, ESPN. Dale, the consensus out there among the Cup drivers is that these cars race so different than in Cup that you don't learn a whole lot. But what can be gained for Chase just for kind of driving with his mirrors and also working with Eddie DeHaan for a whole race?
I think that he certainly can gain a lot of confidence. Confidence is such a big factor out there. Believing in yourself, believing in the car, working with the car together. When you don't believe in the car, you don't make as many moves, take as many risks, or take opportunities and runs that develop. You tend to second guess some of the things you're doing. But you go out there and win these races, you feel like, hey, I'm getting somewhere. I'm starting to learn. You start to build some confidence. And obviously working with the spotter, this spotter is so important here, and more so, I think, than a lot of other racetracks. So I was so happy for him. He's got a lot of things on his plate. So for him to go out there and he's got the Cup season looming over his head, and got a lot of things going on. He's had a very busy off season preparing and doing all the responsibilities outside of the car. So he's had a lot going on. So for him to come in here and focus and get the win today was real impressive.
We'll go to David next. You raise your hand to get a microphone, David.
David Swope, ESPN Radio Albuquerque. Dale, so I was curious, is there superpowers in the number 88 because it appears to be the kryptonite to stop Joey Logano from repeating?
Well, I think that we've been talked up quite a bit this week, so I just hope people don't underestimate the level of competition we've got out there tomorrow and the talent in the field. We've got a lot of cars that are very fast, very capable of winning, and certainly got some drivers out there who know how to do it. So it's going to be a very tough job tomorrow. We've got an awesome race car. We're ready. We're prepared. We're going to go in with all the confidence in the world, but it's not by any means a done deal, and anything can happen. The Daytona 500 is certainly unlike any other event, and we'll fight all day long to try to give ourselves an opportunity to win. But man, there's a very strong field for this race. Hey, good luck tomorrow. Thank you, buddy.
All right, we'll go to Nate.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Dale, on Tuesday at the media day, you spoke a lot about Chase Elliott and the perceptions, and I know you singled out one in particular about, will Chase live up to the hype? We'll plead guilty on that one. Does a day like today, this victory, does it help, do you think, in terms of like him handling those perceptions, or does it raise the expectations and increase that hype going into tomorrow?
No, I don't think it really raises the expectations. I think that it sort of confirms what everybody assumed about Chase and his ability. And I also think that for him personally, it makes all the hard work that he's been doing all this offseason worth it. He's coming into a Cup program where the responsibilities outside the car triple, maybe quadruple. The things that he's going to be asked to do for our partners and HMS's partners are going to really occupy a lot of the time that he's had for himself. And so, you do a lot of work, you do a lot of things outside of the car preparing for the year, and this is going to be a long season for him. You mentally adjust over time and get sort of used to it. But the wins and getting to victory lane, it makes it worth it.
Do we have any additional questions for David and Dale? Final one from Jared.
If you could just kind of size up the Gibbs cars for tomorrow, Dale, and just how strong you think they are, and is there one in particular that stands out?
Gibbs?
Yeah.
Danny's car's fast and he's smart. The 18, obviously, he won the duel. He's a hell of a race car driver. Matt's won a couple Daytona 500s. He's smart in his car. I don't care if he's in a backup. That's still a good race car. And the 19, I mean, there's 25 cars win this race, maybe more. I mean, you got to do the right things and be smart. But there's some very, they're gonna be up there. It ain't gonna be easy.
All right, David and Dale, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win, and good luck tomorrow, Dale.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to wrap up our post-race media availabilities with the winner of the PowerShares QQQ 300, Chase Elliott, who is a driver of the number 88 TaxSlayer.com Chevrolet. Chase, you've had a pretty impressive speed week so far. Add another one to the record book here as you become the youngest winner at Daytona in the NASCAR XFINITY Series at the age of 20 years, 2 months, and 23 days. This is also your 5th victory in the XFINITY Series, your first victory here at Daytona. Talk a little bit about that for us here.
Yeah, just a fantastic Saturday to start the weekend at Daytona 500. What a great day! Fast race car. Big thanks to TaxSlayer and everybody at Junior Motorsports for letting me drive. I didn't get a chance to say this on TV. I thought I was going to get another question, and I didn't. But I'm not sure if it was my fault there wreck with Bobby and some of those guys on the backstretch. So if that was my fault, I need to take full credit for that. I don't really know what happened. I know we got stacked up, and I got in the back of him. I was being pushed, and regardless, so if that was my fault, I apologize now. I didn't get a chance to do that on TV.
All right, we'll open up for questions for Chase. Please state your name and affiliation when you get the microphone. We'll start up here with Matt, and then we'll go to Bob.
Matt Weaver, AutoWeek.com. Chase, you look a lot more comfortable in this Xfinity Series draft so far than in the Cup Series. I'm curious, what sort of things do the cars do in this series that make you feel a lot more comfortable as opposed to, in the duels you went backwards?
It's just such a different style of drafting. I mean, these cars, are all about the pusher and really getting on the guy and pushing that limit of the rule of not locking bumpers. So it seems like if you have a guy behind you that's really good at that and isn't going to get you in trouble, that usually that lane moves forward. Whereas the Cup cars, are more of they get spread out and have big runs, and you get these big shoves, and the cars will get pushed way out. So it's a very different style of racing, and I've had a chance to do this 3 or 4 times the past couple years. So I think having a chance to do this, and the rules haven't really changed much on the Xfinity side, I think that has probably just been helpful there.
All right, we'll go to Bob and then to David.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. I have 2 questions for you. How important was it to get another 120 laps working with Eddie DeHaan? And then also, do you know whether you're starting on the outside or the inside tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm not sure on the top or bottom yet. I would assume probably bottom because that would line up Dale behind me. So I think from a team perspective, that would probably be the best move, I guess, for the start of the race. And obviously, beyond the fact of we're teammates, he's been really fast. So I think it would be a good pusher. But we haven't decided 100% yet on that. But it has been good to work with Eddie for a week now. We had a good conversation this afternoon as to some of the things that we wanted differently from the duels to Sunday, and I thought today was a good opportunity to practice some of those things, and he did a great job of giving me the information I needed.
I'll go to David next.
David Swope, ESPN Radio Albuquerque. Both Elliott and Joey Logano said they had kind of the same strategy coming out of 4 for that final lap for you. When you moved up the track, had you planned how far maybe you were going to move up, or once the contact happened, that kind of stalled how you were going to move up and kind of ended up with the finish?
Yeah, so he was pushing me really hard, and I couldn't see where Elliott and the rest of everybody else was, but I don't know, I had to watch. But I feel like we had gotten away from everybody by a few car lengths. I knew he was going to make some type of move. He faked me to the bottom, and I wasn't real sure. I kind of went down there a little bit, and then I saw him go back to the top, and I tried to follow him back up. and I just didn't get up soon enough to get in front of his nose, and he'd already had a nose there, and I was kind of committed to already coming up. We hit, and I thought we were wrecked, which fortunately we didn't, but I thought for sure something. I didn't really know that we were going to make it across the line or what was going to happen, but we got together, and it kind of stalled his momentum, and once I realized his momentum stopped, I tried to get away from him to keep from the draft from pulling me back anymore. So just fortunate and got lucky there with how it worked out, but he did a good job setting me up, and I just was just a tick too far behind to get in front of his nose.
Do we have any additional questions here for Chase? Come down here, and then we'll go to Zach.
Hey, Chase, congratulations. Greg Engel, Examiner.com. Do you have a pre-race night before ritual that you do or anything like that? Or how do you treat that? And have you thought about, what you're going to do tonight before what was probably arguably the biggest race of your career?
I really don't have a thing that I do consistently, I guess. Just kind of play it by ear as it comes. So I don't really have anything consistent that I've come up with yet.
Zach Atanzvetti, front stretch. Can you talk about the contact with Bobby Labonte to spark that first crash, and if that had any effect on your car or your mindset going through the rest of the race?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I don't really know exactly what happened. I know everybody, checked up really, really hard in front of me. I tried to get stopped and got into Bobby, and he got loose. So if that was my fault, I take full credit for it. And I didn't know exactly. I need to obviously look at it and kind of see what happened. But I know we all checked up hard, and I felt like I was just kind of at the point of the slinky that I couldn't get woed down in time from hitting him really hard. So, like I said, if that was on me, I'll take credit.
Nick DeGroot, Motorsport.com. Chase, how hard were you having to saw on the wheel there when Joey was right on your quarter panel?
I was just trying not to wreck. I thought for sure, he was moving around on a bumper pretty hard, and like I said, he kind of faked to the bottom, and as he came back across, we were still touching somewhat. So during that whole sequence, it was, I guess, a little hairy, but we were fortunate to not wreck. I was thinking we were going to.
I have a question over here, and then we'll go to Holly and then to Kelly.
Dennis Krause, Motorsports Minute. Chase, what does today's win do for your confidence for tomorrow's race?
Well, the races are so different, and I think it's hard to really take a whole lot. And I think the success of today does not have any guarantee, or there's no guarantee that tomorrow is going to go good. I do think probably the most valuable piece of it was working with Eddie. I think getting on pit road. Just getting a chance to go through some of those things that we haven't had a chance to do yet coming into a new season. But like I said, the drafting in these two cars are very, very different, and it's just a very different style, and it's hard to compare a whole lot. These bumpers on these Xfinity cars line up really well. They're flat, and you can really give the guy ahead of you a real good shove pretty much anywhere around the racetrack if you hit him in the right spot. And then the Cup cars are curved, and you can't really do that as well. So, like I said, it's very different.
Go to Kelly next.
Kelly Crandall from PopularSpeed.com. Chase, another restrictor plate race in the series, and more complaints over the radio of calls not being made that this locking bumpers rule. Is this necessary for the series, or is it a necessary rule, or should NASCAR just let you guys race at this point?
Well, it's a safety rule, and it's not up to me, so it really doesn't matter what I think is the way I see it. The rule's the same for everybody, and however hard you want to push, it's up to you. And nobody's ever going to be happy, so I don't care what rule it is.
Go ahead.
Dave Coleman, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Dale Jr., when he was in here, said maybe the best thing that today did for you was confidence in yourself, confidence in your car. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we had a fast race car today, and really just fortunate the way the pit sequence worked out, and the way we ended up on that restart, having a good push from Daniel Suarez and whoever was behind him. Our lane got formed up really good, and for whatever reason, the top just didn't. I don't know who all was in the top lane. I think they got just a little bit strung apart and didn't get going like exactly like they needed to. So, I think that was the biggest thing. But I think looking at Eddie and him and I getting work together for a day, I think that is a big probably just trust building day for me and him. I think that's probably the biggest thing from the confidence side. But like I said, the races are going to be so different. It's hard to gain a ton of confidence for something that's going to be completely different tomorrow. Yeah, I suppose. It's been a good day, so sure. But like I said, tomorrow is a new day and very different.
All right, we're going to go upstairs to the press box for a question, then come back down here to Mike.
This is Dustin Long of NBC Sports. Chase, after you were stopped on the finish line and couldn't go anywhere, what was that like without anyone there to immediately celebrate with? You had a chance to take things in that doesn't always happen for a winner. What were you thinking about? What was kind of going through your head for those few moments?
I just tried to enjoy it. I think, something victory lane often gets rushed through, and that's something that shouldn't get rushed, in my opinion. That's something that they're hard to get, and you should enjoy them because you don't know if you're ever going to get another one. So for me, I was standing out there in the middle of the front straightaway at Daytona with a checkered flag in front of me. So that was a great, with a bunch of people in front of me and a speedway with a lot of history all around. So that's, I try to take it in and enjoy that moment.
We'll go to Mike and then to Holly.
Mike Neff from FrontStretch.com. Chase, you've been on the national stage here now for a couple of years. You're a champion in the XFINITY Series. You're getting ready for the Cup side now. But just the way the dynamics have played out with so many Cup guys running in XFINITY over the last couple of years, and you've been racing along with a lot of them, do you think that has helped them gain confidence in your abilities that will ultimately pay out tomorrow to have them give you a little more, difference rather than just hanging you out because of the yellow stripe on the back bumper?
I don't, and I could be wrong, I'm not a veteran, but I don't really know. The biggest thing is if you're in a position and a guy behind you thinks that him going with you is going to better his position, he's going to go with you. I don't care who it is. That's just the way racing is. If you can do something that's going to help yourself, they're going to help whoever's in front of them. So if I'm lucky enough for that to be me, great. If not, we'll address it then.
We'll go to Holly.
Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. Chase, what is it like for you to feel so many people pulling for you, and you may not even be aware of the amount of it? I've been working on a story, and I can tell you everyone I talk to has really been pulling for you, and it's very unusual for a rookie to come in with quite that amount of acclaim and support behind them. What has that been like for you, and how aware of it are you?
I'm just very fortunate to have a lot of great supporters. The fans have been great to me. They've given me an opportunity to go and try to do my job, and that's all you can ask for. So you should never force anybody to pull for you or support you. So if somebody wants to support myself or our team, that's great. I want them to do it because they want to, and no other reason. So hopefully we can gain that support and most importantly that respect.
Do we have any final questions for Chase? One more up here in the front.
So, I guess in Victory Lane, what did your mom and dad have to say to you about this victory?
I think they were both excited. My mom handed me the phone there immediately. Mr. Earnhardt had called her and got a chance to talk to him for a second, so that was pretty special. They were both just excited, and Dad and I talked before the race just about how aggressive this race gets and guys pushing and just trying to be smart and get to the end is what him and I talked about was most important. So fortunately we got to the end and had a shot.
Well, Chase, thanks for joining us this evening. Congratulations on the win and good luck tomorrow.
Cool. Thanks, guys.